Hello everyone and welcome to Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today on episode 336, we're going to take a look at a completely renovated home at 4418 Crooked Lane in 75229. Such an amazing house.
And in our second segment today, we are going to give an update on the dirt at City Hall.
Did you bring your shovel?
I did.
Good for you. That would have been a really good prop, Jeff. You should have started this out with like the dirt.
Yep.
The dirt. But anyway,
Zach, post-production, put a shovel in my hand.
Zach's got his hands full in this episode, I can tell you right now. We've got it together, as my dad would say, with duct tape and baling wire.
Spit and baling wire.
We hope that you enjoy this show. One of the things we like to do is highlight the zip code and talk about the market watch currently for the house that we're in, since this is 75229. This gives you a pretty good idea, actually an exact idea, of where this sits. This is a northwest Dallas neighborhood. It is right there against 635, comes all the way down to, I believe, that is Walnut Hill right there. You're going to get the toll road on the eastern side, and then you're going to go pretty much to 35 on the western side. So this is a rather large neighborhood. One of the things about this neighborhood is there's a lot of ranches over here. The lots can tend to be anywhere from...
A lot of ranch-style homes.
Ranch-style homes. Thank you, Jeff. The listeners will be like, what do you mean there's a lot of ranches? There's a lot of ranch-style homes. Anyway, we're talking houses typically built in the 50s and the 60s. With the lots being this large, there's a lot of investment opportunity. As you can see with this one, though, rather than do a scrape, this is a really well done renovation. I think that's what makes this zip code so unique, is because there's a little bit of everything for anyone.
There is. So in the month of March, the median sales price in that zip code jumped all the way to $1,275,000, and that is the highest number it's been in 15 months. To give you a little perspective, in February it was only $735,000.
That is a really big swing.
I'll tell you why that happened too. Is there's probably one sale that occurred in March that was on this way end of the spectrum.
Yep, because you get some of the higher priced neighborhoods in this area.
You do. You get some of the highest prices and you get some of the lowest prices. Because you think about the side that's over on the western side of that zip code. You know, those are $300,000 homes over there, and there's a bunch of them.
And there's a couple little pockets with condos over there too that are really inexpensive. So it is a really wide swing. Inventory is on the uprise. We're at 124 for this current month. That's a normal number of units, because when we look at March of 2025, it was 121. So that's a negligible amount. But what we are seeing is that the numbers from December of 25 were 90. So that is an increase. That too in and of itself is not a headliner, because that is just a seasonal uptick in what we are currently seeing. I do feel like that there is maybe a little hesitation in the market right now, for the simple fact that we've got some global implications that are driving up interest rates or causing some instabilities, and also causing buyers and sellers both alike to hesitate just a hair.
So in the month of March, there were 34 pending sales, which is the strongest month since May of 2025. So buyer activity is definitely back over there. November and December in 2025 both came in about 14 pending sales per month. So you can see there's a tremendous amount of activity over there.
So when we talk about closed sales, these are the ones that have actually transferred ownership. There's 29 in the month of March, and that's a slight decrease in year over year. I think the high was 36 for this. That's not anything that's like is not normal. I do know that we came out of a slower portion in the Q4 of 2025, and it looks like that slump is over. Will it continue to be? I don't think it's going to be a barn burner, but I still think we're going to have a good opportunity for both buyers and sellers to come out and feel like they won.
And the average dollar per square foot's running about $337 a square foot right now, and that is back up from when it had dropped down in January. It really kind of matches November and December from 2025. January 2026 was one of the lowest dollar per square foots in that in several months, but again, we're back up at $337 a square foot.
So the bottom line for this is that 75229, it is on the rise, it is on the increase. It is not your cheaper zip code, given the number of larger properties that are available, but prices are still remaining strong, as long as the product that comes out of the ground is pretty much dead on. At that price point, I think people get really zeroed in and they're like, I expect it to have X, Y, and Z. So lots of good information on that. And one of the things though that, we have started doing for all of our clients, even the ones, our past clients, is that we set up this search for them so that they know what's going on in their neighborhood. You and I text with them all the time. So if this is something that you're interested in, knowing about a zip code, a feeder pattern for a school district, or even someplace that you're thinking of downsizing or growing into, let us know. We'd be happy to set that search up. Or Jeff.
So let's talk about our home.
Give it to us. Which one is this one, Jeff?
So this is 4418 Crooked Lane. This is Dallas, Texas 75229. This is a little under 5,000 square feet home. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3 living area, a 3-car garage, and a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. So this is easily one of the easy locations to get in and around. It's just off of North Haven. So this gives you Midway, Royal. Easy access to both 35 and the toll road, which is really, really nice. Midway, if you're not familiar with this, Midway is one of your larger north-south I'm going to call it suburban neighborhood streets.
It will take you all the way to the suburbs, that's for sure.
How far will it take you?
Gosh, it'll take you out to North Carrollton.
Okay.
Midway goes, all the way out to North Carrollton.
So this is a really easy street. One of the other things too, if you're not from this, not from the Metroplex, or you're thinking about relocating, one of the great things about this is its proximity to both DFW Airport and also Love Field. These are just a straight shot either south or basically west to get there because of 635 and also because of the toll road.
And what do locals love?
Oh, Jeff, thank you for asking. Let's cue that up perfectly. H-Mart is new in the area. This is over there at Harry Hines and Royal. If you have not been to H-Mart, you owe it to yourself. I feel like I should be a brand ambassador for H-Mart because I feel like I have introduced you to their bulgogi bar.
Sure.
And I have made bulgogi for my Mahjong group. It's such a cool little market. And I have to tell you, the first time that I ever went to, not this H-Mart, but to an Asian grocery store, I have to say that I immediately, because you always walk into the produce section first, I felt so cheap, or not cheap, I felt so discounted by Kroger's and Tom Thumbs, because their produce section, 20 different types of mushrooms, you've got 4 different scallions, you've got fruit you've never seen before, and everything's individually wrapped, and you go to Tom Thumb, you got limes, lemons, and bell peppers, and you got a side of potatoes and onions. It's ridiculous. This is where you need to go.
It does have a great variety of fruits and vegetables. It's also got a really interesting meat market. The frozen fish is the first section that you go through. You can get whatever kind of frozen fish you think you want to cook with. You move on down, and then there's the fresh fish counter, which is probably 30 different fish, 22 of which I have never heard of. And then you get into the meat market.
And I'm that guy that's Googling every single fish because I can't figure out what they are. Anyway, if you haven't taken, also, you know what? Go hungry because the food court is amazing.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is, who would have thought corn dogs are a Korean food? They have really great ones. Check it out. Call me. If you want someone to go with you, call me. I love it.
One of the other things in the neighborhood that locals love is this is Craft. This is a new restaurant that's opening on Northwest Highway just west of Preston Road. It's going to be, actually it is open now. We haven't been yet, but I got a $20 off gift certificate in the mail the other day. We're going to go use that. So, really great restaurant. First floor dining, second floor rooftop bar, outdoor game area. This is going to be the new go-to space.
So I think this is going to be the afternoon place equivalent to what the breakfast scene is at Flying Fish in the exact same shopping center. But you had a really good call about the Sevi void that's going to happen.
Sevi's is closing or has closed, and they did not have a new place announced to where they were going. And so I think this could be the new Sevi's.
I would agree with that, because if we think about like outdoor space and something that's a little younger, and you've got Il Bracco over there, you've got R&D, but none of those have this component of the rooftop where you can like have a beer, relax. It just has a much more post-work feel to it.
Yes, so if any title companies or vendors are planning parties, let us know, please.
This is where you should be. And last but not least, this one I love is North Haven Garden Center. This actually took a direct hit, I believe, from the tornado that happened 6 years ago.
Two hurricanes.
Two tornadoes.
Two tornadoes.
So, two tornadoes, not hurricanes. So it has it has a thought out feel, but it does not feel like corporate America nursery. This is a great place that has everything from herbs, trees, to indoor plants. And I think that they're all extremely knowledgeable. It's not like, like you've gone to you go to Home Depot now, and anytime you ask for anybody, they just said, well, did you look it up on the app? This is the exact opposite experience. This is them saying, how much light does this area get? What type is the soil? And they're helping guide you so that you're actually making the best fit for what you have to offer.
And this was started in 1951 by a couple of gardening experts, a married couple, and then their sons took it over in the 70s, and now it's grown into be what it is. But the man that started this was on the Dallas Chamber of Commerce, and he was the leader that started the Dallas Arboretum.
Really?
Yes.
A little bit of history. Our own historian here at the table, ready to share with you. All right, so these are great options that locals love in 75229. Without further ado, let's talk about 4418 Crooked Lane. It's a great house.
So this has got really great drive up. It sits on about a half an acre of land. It's that A-frame entry that so many people love. I love it. Big circular drive in the front. This is a party house.
It is. It's an entertaining house. So in 2012, they took it to the studs and did a full renovation on it. And then in 2022, they also did a light renovation. As you can see here, this is a really great hallway that opens up into this really nice office. And when we toured this house, it was one of those really perfect spring days in the last week or so. And all the windows and doors were open. And it just flowed. And like when you say entertain, like this living room, this picture looks like average, but it doesn't feel average when you actually walk into it. It is enormous, Jeff. There are 300 people easily here and a great time had by all.
And this is, you've got the focal point over the fireplace with the TV, but you've really got multiple focal points. Like if you look to the right where they've got the shuffleboard table, you've got some indoor gaming space there. You've got a really cool dining room space that you could certainly put more people around that table if you needed to. You've got the eat up spot at the countertop in the kitchen, and I love how open this is. Whoever decided to do the architectural wood in that really did a great job, because it breaks those rooms up visually for you. And you don't feel like you're lost in a bowling alley. It really gives texture.
So the other thing about the kitchen is the actual size. So there's plenty of space between the back wall and this large kitchen island. It's eat-in kitchen island. It is perfect for setting up and catering. A lot of times we kind of lose sight on that, but this has that. When we're looking in this actually gives us a shot of the bar that is actually built into the main hallway.
In the entry.
Yeah, it's this really great
Perfect place for it.
It is. And then when you look back from the room that it's actually flanking, you have another fireplace. So this is fireplace number 2. And it's kind of like a more intimate, as you were saying, this is where you kind of do the interview on whether you're going to get to see the rest of the house. I think it works out
Come in,
really
have
well.
a cocktail, sit in the drawing room.
And then you pitch back, and so we're talking 3 distinct living areas within this first floor. This is more what I would say is like the intimate cabana room.
So this is the master bedroom, which is a huge room. As you can see there, it is divided by a double-sided fireplace, which gives you really great flexibility in terms of you have your space for your bed over here. It looks out on this really cool Zen garden, but you've got plenty of other space to do whatever else you want with.
And I think it's so crucial, these spaces that we have, but the way you're able to see them because of all the Pella windows and doors that were done throughout this, it really allows this house to highlight its indoor-outdoor feel. One of the things as we go through this is this space right here to me has a lot of flex. So this is currently set up as their private gym, but this could easily be a second seating area. This could be a small private office off the back and a nursery. I think it goes really well.
And I love the master bath. I love the clear windows. They could have chosen to frost those, but I think they did a really good job in selecting the clear, because then that outside truly does come in. And then who doesn't want to have Japanese maple right by their bathtub.
You know, with half an acre, I feel like you don't have to actually frost the windows because this is at the back of the house. This is the Pretty Woman closet we have here. Shelving, drawers, hanging, valet, lighting. It's all here. And then when we come out, we are not going to actually show you the rest of the house, the bedrooms. You can click on the link, but this is where the magic really gets going on this house.
I love the fact that you've got outdoor living, you've got an outdoor kitchen, you've got a hot tub, you've got some landscaping there, you have a diving pool.
I know.
You've got another outdoor dining space that is separate. And look at how much green space you have.
So a lot of times in pools, they don't have enough shallow space to deep space ratio. It's one or the other. And this one really has almost like probably 2/3 is shallow and the other third is going to be the deep space. So it really allows you to really use this entire space. And let's not forget how important it is to have an outdoor kitchen and additional seating space. This is, again, when we say entertaining, whether it's you and your family or whether it's you and your family and 300 friends, Crooked Lane is the place for you.
So this is 4418 Crooked Lane. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage built in 1958, just under 5,000 square feet, listed at $3.425 million, and that brings it in about $690 a square foot.
So this is a great house. It's a great example of some of the houses that are coming out of the ground over there in 75229. One of the things we like to do is in the comments, there'll be a link. Click on that link because there's a lot of pictures that we didn't use. There's a floor plan. We're also going to have the credits roll where you're going to see all of the features that we didn't get time to talk about. And we also want to say thank you so much to Lori McGuire for allowing to feature this amazing home.
Thank you, Lori.
Great home.
So,
Jeff, is it time for an update?
let's talk about what's going on down at City Hall.
I feel like this is your lightning rod.
You know, I feel like over the years I used to believe that no one went into elected government positions on a state and federal level unless they just didn't go into it to better everybody. I think they went into it with some very self-serving opinion, ideas. And I used to not feel that way about our municipal government, but based on the way some of this is rolling out and has rolled out, I feel like I'm just not sure there's a lot of people down there that really want to do what's right for the citizens of Dallas.
And I feel like this has become a lightning rod because I feel like at this point we're in a real funky place in society right now where we feel like the grift, the lies that's happening both, at the federal level and then at the state level, and now we're looking at it here in, as you said, our municipality. And it feels like this is being concocted in back rooms and that it's not being up front. And I think that to me, it feels like we're in the exact same position as we were when we were trying to get the Dallas Cowboy Stadium in Fair Park, and we whiffed that horribly. I feel like we're on the cusp of whiffing this as well in a bigger way.
And when we left off last time talking about this, we were talking about that that trove of emails that they had made it out to a reporter at the Dallas Morning News, but they really hadn't been released to the wild yet.
Right.
And one of the big things that came up in those emails was the fact that city officials were talking with multiple people involved with the sports arena as early as May of last year. And now it has, since we talked about this last, Rick Welts, the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks, said in a recorded interview that he was in a meeting with our city manager, Tolbert, and she said to him, our city can't afford to keep City Hall. And it was in the context of a discussion of that he was saying, we really need to have 50 acres of contiguous space to put together and that's just not available downtown right now. Correct. And apparently her comment came as out of that, and that could be where this all started.
See, to me, it makes me question, did she share that information with other entities? Were there other business owners that have expressed interest in needing a tract of land that's 50 continuous spaces? Did she share that with them? Or is there yet something else in the background where she's being told, you need to go approach?
Yeah.
Like, are there instructions at hand? It doesn't read right to me. The fact that she won't take interviews, I think, is really odd. The fact that you had said that there was a press conference where they said no questions during, that there'll be a question and answer afterwards, and that after they just packed up and left. I mean, what you're saying doesn't line up with what your words are.
Yeah.
So,
and there's another part of this that's kind of come into play also, and it's that two things. One is they just started tearing down the Kay Bailey Hutchison Center. They just started that last week.
right.
But there is not a plan.
This is brand new news.
There is not a budget.
Yep.
They do not know what direction they are putting it. It's just as though somebody is pushing this process forward. And even, CEO Rick Wells said we're on a timetable, meaning they've got to make a decision. This decision is supposed to come to the city council in May about whether to tear down City Hall or not.
And see, if we're letting them wag the dog, they are the tail. They should, did I say that right? You may want to edit that. I may have messed that up.
Leave it.
I just think that there is power on who's going to make this decision, and I feel like we're letting them make our decision for us.
The something that two city council people that are against this have said is they want to have an independent third party do an analysis on the building because there's been so many inconsistencies about the report that was AECOM that AECOM did. They want to have an independent company who has no interest and that will make no money off of whatever outcome there is, which has not happened yet. And this, even to the point that this AECOM had previously paid over an $11 million settlement to the federal government because they had given bad information, false cost estimates for public buildings after Hurricane Katrina.
I think that they were hired because of that.
Potentially.
Because they will bend the numbers. It's also interesting too that AIA, American Institute for Architects, actually 10 of the former presidents have come out and said that report is not credible. And that's not one, that's not two, that's 10 former presidents.
The report was, now that people have had a chance to analyze it and look through it and really break it down, it's got so many things in it that it says need to be done, like it says the entire heater boiler system needs to be done at a cost of, $45 million, $4.5 million. Actually, I think the cost that they're estimating is much higher, although that was just replaced 2 years ago, and we only spent $5 million on it then.
So why is it on the budget again?
Yes, and then also they said, we're going to have to evacuate City Hall because when you get into the heating system, we're going to dealing with so much asbestos, and that's got to be abated properly. They've already done all of that when they did the heating system, and they never moved anybody out of City Hall when they did it.
And so that just goes back to say that EOCM doesn't do their work right. So they've also started social media campaigns, and they're like, tell us what you should do with City Hall. And so like Zach, our producer, has said, don't you read the comments? And I was like, no, I don't read comments. Well, so now I read the comments. So it's interesting to me because like I started looking and lots of people are just saying, use it as City Hall. Just leave it as is, like do city business, like really interesting. Then the people that were like anti and against it, when I would click on their profiles, they were of anime and they had 3 posts and they had 120 people, or they were a Chevy car. And the
basically
same
bots.
So it made me think like, well, are they trying to even like sway the social media campaign out there? I don't think they have. I think there's way too many people that have finally caught on to this.
Yeah, I agree.
Are hearing. It's interesting to me.
Well, I think we've got to keep our eye on it. I think
100%.
we are at a turning point with downtown Dallas, and this is not going to help it.
Well, okay. The other thing too, and we didn't touch on this, but there is a perfectly good I think, better location for this. And it's not downtown.
That's their second alternative, or that's their other alternative.
It's Valley View. It is raw land. It sits on 635. There's already, as you said, an express lane if you want to bypass all that. You've got the toll road 35 and 75 all running north and south. It is more middle. I think you get more people from Plano that would go to that or McKinney or even
absolutely.
Salina than going all the way downtown, because a lot of people that aren't familiar with downtown don't want to drive downtown. And I think this would be a great solution.
I agree. Well, hopefully City Council will make the right decision on this. I don't want to tear it down, because I feel like this has just been shoved down our throats. I don't think that's the right. Even with all of the other reasons not, I think the citizens of Dallas have to put their heels down and stop this. I think Tolbert I think her contract needs to be reviewed and potentially move on with her, because it's
a mishandling.
Too many things falling in place. Her assistant, who's been with the city for 30 years, right after this report started, he was in charge of getting this report from AECOM, and right after the report came out, he's decided that he wants to retire now. So it's just like too many too many shady things going on.
I would agree with that.
So keep up with it, read about it, read from every perspective, certainly develop your own opinion about it. If you've got any opinions you want to share with us, put them in the comments below.
And just remember, we want to be realtors for life.